In today's review of the XP-PRO, we'll discuss what makes the Fusion XP-PRO such great value, some unique features of XP-PRO, the pros and cons, because there are some, and I have a few gripes with the ones that I don't like, but overall, I'll share with you the good, the bad, and it's definitely not ugly. The XP-PRO is a fusion of Glock mag and 1911 double stack, as you can see, caution locked, grip, frame safety, etc. When I first got this pistol, there were very few options for accessories. The Kydex world is very limited on this gun since it's so new, but what I did test was fitment for Safariland. With it being a 4-inch overall length slide and not a true commander slide, I was able to get a Safariland staccato holster for the 4.1 pistol to work almost seamlessly with the XP-PRO. That's one of the holsters we stock on our website, rdrgear.com. We stock the 6390 RDS and the 6360, level 2 and level 3. You can find that holster on our website along with belts, plate carriers, placards, chest rigs, a full line of K9 gear. All of that you can find at rdrgear.com. So let's talk about the Fusion Pro and some of the specs. We're gonna start with slide. This pistol, even though it does look like a commander length 2011, it is not. It is a 4-inch slide. So as I mentioned, if you guys do need holster support, the staccato 4.1 holster fits this pistol fairly well. This, as I'm at 4-inch slide, it is a tri-cut slide. The serrations on the slide are very well done, very tactile, very easy to operate. The optics plate cut is phenomenal. When I first got the pistol, I snapped the plate in and I put the red dot on. I was picking the pistol up like so without the screws and the red dot. I made a little video and sent it to Fusion because I was just impressed with how well the machining work was done on the optics plate. You guys will notice also with the optics plate how deep this RMR cut is, the depth of that cut plus the thickness of the plate. With the built-in irons, you do have a pretty solid co-witness across front and back. The front sight is just a plain white dot, the blacked out rear. So again, this is a dovetailed sight, so you can swap that out at your leisure to a tritium or a fiber optic. Optics plates right now currently, Delta Point, RMR, there are others coming in the future. Frame. This is where where my pros and cons come into play, but there's one really good pro for lefties. If you guys notice, this is where we're going to focus on in this segment of the frame talk, and this is where some of my pros come into play. But as a lefty shooter, right, let me clear and free. So now for a lefty, all the controls, you don't bump into anything, right? You don't hit anything accidentally on a lefty shooters. Everything clears, your mag release clears, everything. You guys will see how this sits right here. For a lefty shooter, this thing is very comfortable for a left-handed shooter. I've shot a lot of guns left-handed, but the way this design is in line, it's a very positive feature for someone who's a left-handed shooter if you wanted a gun like this. Grip module, aluminum grip. The only gun currently coming with an aluminum grip module. That's a huge feather in their cap as well, because the grip module is very well built. It's a little slippery, but the golf ball texture is nice, but it could have a little more texture to it. Other than that, it's very well done. Magwell as well. Magazines, it comes with 2 Glock-ish magazines, and then I did test it today with a PMag, as well as a factory Glock magazine with the Shield Plus base pads. So again, perfect fitment on that. Also with the design of the magwell, if you had the pins that were already on the Shield mag or a style like that, you're gonna have clearance in there with the magwell for those type of magazine-based boats. So let's talk about some of the cons I have. I think this is some good feedback for them. This design of this slide release right here, it is very, very well done in its design. But I think, I should say its design and function. But where I feel it has some drawbacks is how long it is. When I present this pistol in a traditional two-handed grip for 2011, 1911 pistols, what happens is I'm riding on top of that and I cannot get slide lock at all, no matter what magazine I do. Even when I reduce the grip and drop it a little lower, I still have issue with slide lock. That's something that I feel if this portion of this, you can kind of see it's kind of a sloped gas pedal-ish looking, because what the benefit of that is when you guys are dropping the slide with a new magazine insert, you can see how easy that is to get to. There's very little manipulation of the hand. It's long enough to where you can get to it. That's one of the downsides on traditional 2011s is oftentimes you'll have to insert a magazine and come up with the left-hand thumb to drop that slide stop. They've extended it, but I feel it might be a bit too long because as I go to grip the pistol, one, I'm riding it till I won't get slide lock. Two, when I readjust my grip, now the length on this back end right here is stabbing me in the left hand, and it gets a little bit uncomfortable the more rounds I'm shooting through the magazine. The other kicker is the safety is very clean, very tactile, but in traditional 1911 style pistols, this position right here is very similar to the safety when it's depressed and ready to fire. But when you notice on the Fusion here, when you drop it off into fire mode, it is pretty much parallel with the slide magazine release, or slide stop, excuse me. So when I look at the gap right here between where my finger sits, this point and this point, it gets a little bit sharp on both hands now. Now I'm getting caught between the slide stop and the safety right here. So again, that's something that I feel if they could either maybe shorten the safety slightly or shorten the length of this slide release and push that forward, the gas pedal portion here, push it forward, and that'd be a great feature to eliminate the lack of slide stop and possibly the grip on the hands. Now, all that could be due to my hand size. Christian did shoot the gun today, and he did not have any of those issues. He did achieve slide lock as well. So even though I say those things as pros to me personally for the review, this is something that's gonna be more of a hand fitment than a poor product. But with Fusion being able to build so many of their components in-house, I don't see them, if that was something they got more feedback on and it became something that more people commented on, it may be something where they can address and it'd be a simple drop-in part, and that would be a great way for me to run this pistol more with getting slide lock. I love the gun. My biggest thing when I saw this on Instagram, I loved how this two-tone stainless gun looked. I don't own any other stainless pistol other than this one. When you look at this gun, even when Christian saw it for the first time, it punches way above its weight class and looks a much higher retail price than what the gun comes in at. And as I mentioned earlier, a double stack 2011 in this space, taking Glock magazines with the aluminum grip, optics ready, sub $1,200, I don't think you're gonna find, actually I know you're not gonna find anything that beats that, but it's less money than Prodigy money. You're not doing a ton of internal upgrades. And the biggest number one kicker for you guys at home about this, there are no MIM parts inside this pistol. All right, that's what I saved for last. That's a big one. That is something that a lot of you guys out there are going to be happy with, because that's a big achievement for Fusion to have this pistol made with no internal MIM parts. And MIM, for you guys may not home, is metal injection molded components. A lot of the products out there, me personally, I've had a ton of guns over the years that have MIM products. I've never had, the MIM piece is exactly what caused this gun to fail. Not the case for me personally, but I know some people out there, that's a big deal for them. So that's a great one there. But you guys, overall, this gun is phenomenal in every way. The Glock magazines, we tested 3 different magazines today. The gun shoots fast, super fast. And I'm excited to see what comes from them in the future. So for looks, function, price, double stack 1911, takes Glock magazines, sub $1,200, optics ready, out of the park, home run. A few tweaks and things on the design of the pistol itself, but again, like I mentioned earlier, I think that's on me more or less in grip and hand size, but not every gun is gonna fit everybody, and I'm gonna give that feedback to the guys at Fusion, and that might be something we can address in the future. But man, if you have not heard of Fusion Firearms, check them out, hit up their Instagram, check out their YouTube. There's a lot of things they offer for 1911 and 2011 style pistols. Next time, be well. Take care.